Hey guys, welcome to my 10th Thursday round robin. A bit early, of course. We haven't started right at 11 my time. So we're gonna wait a little bit, give people the 4 minutes, whatever it is, to come in. But nonetheless, if Maestro and Kami are here, we'll still ping them and see if they come in. But if they're not here right away, that's fine too. We'll wait that amount of time. Okay. So Kami was not in initially. He was on the waiting list though. So when the other two people dropped out, he got a spot in the tourney. So hopefully he shows up. Um, and this is the same with Design Flaw. Design Flaw will be fighting me after. Remember, guys, if you're dropping out of a tourney, you can exit yourself. You don't need me to do that. I told the two individuals who were dropping out that they could exit. I had to do it myself, so just remember you can sign yourself out as well. It makes things a little bit easier on the host, especially if it's like mid-tourney. Thankfully, both individuals told me beforehand, so it was not a big deal. So in the meantime, how are you guys doing? I want to see you guys in the chat and whatnot. I will, in the meantime, also get in the commentator chat. A little bit of elevator music there. All right, let's go. Yep. So the purpose of this is so that you can listen to me while you're fighting without having to run the stream in the background. And that can be really helpful for fighters, of course, because if you're running the stream on your computer, it can take some bandwidth. So best to reduce that as much as possible. And so that's why I'm also commentating in here. Seeing Seljuk in there. Anywho, again, we're a bit early, so it's totally fine that Maestro and Kami haven't shown up yet. Uh, And I think we'll give them a few minutes after the start time, and if they don't show up, what we usually do is we move on. So we'll go to Design Flaw against me, and if, Design Flaw doesn't show up after a few minutes or so, we'll keep moving on. We're just trying to keep this running as smoothly as we can, and so we'll come back to these fights if the fighters are back in a reasonable amount of time. If they don't show up, it's by say round 3 though. That's usually when we start thinking about disqualifying people, unless those individuals have contacted me in advance. So we only disqualify people who just have not shown up at all whatsoever and have said nothing, pretty much. Try to keep it as flexible as possible, and once we know who's here and who isn't, these tourneys run very smoothly. Round robin is a fast format, but it's also a format where there's a lot of fight. So if you lose, a reminder to those who are new, you do not get eliminated. You still have a chance at victory. The goal is to win as many times as possible. I did make a slight rule change though, so let's review that really quick while we have time. So the winner, of course, is the one who accumulates the most wins. That is not changed. But in the event of a tie, the player who has bested the other opponents will come out on top. That was the same as before. This is the primary way we will break ties. So say I have the same score as Maestro Cake, the same amount of wins, but I defeated him in our match, I would win. But sometimes it's not easy to determine that if it's like a three-way tie. And so say one player defeated another but lost to another player, right? So then the secondary tiebreak, if it's impossible to determine based on that criteria, is flags scored. And so even if you're losing a fight, be sure to score as many flags as possible because those flags could come into play later. And if it still cannot be resolved, we will do points difference. I don't think I wrote that here. Hang on. Well, actually, no, I didn't write that in. I don't think we'll need points difference anyway. But I believe that's yeah, that's the second, that's the tertiary, I should say, tiebreak. If that doesn't work, so let me just. Yeah, so flag difference will be the tertiary tiebreak. We probably won't need that though. It usually does not matter. The first and the secondary, at most, are usually what matter. Hopefully that's clear. Because if you think about it, if the number of flags is equal among say 3 people, that would be crazy, right? Very unlikely. So I'm supposed to keep in mind the score. That's how we're gonna do that. And speaking of which, I should start the tourney. This locks the bracket. And so far, nothing from Kami or Maestro that I can see. I'm going to check again. Competition talks. Subu, I'm ready. All right, yeah, I'll let you in momentarily, Design Flaw, because I don't think Maestro and Kami are here. Give them another minute or so. Once we hit 11:03, we will switch to our fight. There we go. It's 11:03. I'll let you in right away. Good to see Design Flaws here. He actually defeated me last round robin, so I'm really excited to see what he can do. I know better than to underestimate him. I tried not to, of course, when we actually fought, but Design Flaw just played really well. My signature Alex style did not work on him. It was a close fight, mind you, though. As I recall, it was decided by 1 flag, so it was quite an intense contest. All right. So I did send you a link, Design Flaw. Go ahead and click it when you're ready. There you go. Okay, so hopefully Maestro and Kami do show up. That's 2 no-shows if they don't. Always unfortunate when that happens, but Maestro is sometimes late, to be fair. So, not super unheard of. Maybe he's sleeping too. I know his sleeping schedule is not the greatest right now because he's so busy with not only parenting but also like his studies. So anyway, the names should be good to go. Let me just make sure the flags are in order too. Yeah, I had them on 5 because I was doing some spars before this. All right. So you only get 1 round, just a refresher for anyone who's newer. Design flaw, you're on the left, by the way. So you only get 1 round, but it's 1 round of 7 flags. Oh, I lost control somehow. Let's try that again. I think that's just the menu bug. Go ahead again. There we are. All right. Yeah, a reminder that any weapon is allowed, of course. Going with rapier, that's a good pick. Yeah, absolutely any weapon is allowed. We're not doing saber only this time. We did that on Sunday. All right, good luck, Design Flaw. I'm taking a risk here, but I'm going with a character he's unfamiliar with. Also, very good counter pick. I like that you saw that I picked Laszlo on a whim, and then you went with Marie to try and counter it. That was well done. Um, Thankfully, I know how to deal with that. Marie is a pretty good counter to Laszlo, so very solid pick. And you also fought really well too. You seem to know what you're doing with her. Oh, hang on, let me check the score. I gotta remember, I gotta actually look at the score. That hasn't been a thing before. We're gonna try this out. Um, okay, so it was 7-4. Okay. A reminder that wins are what matters the most here. But of course, the score can play a role. So let me just check the standings really quick. If I did this right, it should still count as only one win. Yes, it only counts as one win because of the way I structured it. So it's not like I got 7 points and he got 4 points on the standings. That's perfect. All right. You got to be a bit careful of how you set it up on challenge, otherwise it gets all messed up. So I believe Maestro is here. Maestro didn't get the notification. I've heard of that issue on Discord before. Let's see if Kami is here. We're gonna ping you both again. And also a good game design flaw. Very good game. It's funny, when I picked Laszlo, I just realized design flaw plays calc. Maybe Laszlo is not the best pick. I was thinking of his Barabash when I picked Laszlo, thinking Laszlo would be a better counter. But no, this guy likes point weapons a lot, as well as he does well with Saber too, actually. So to be honest, Laszlo was probably a gamble on my part, but thankfully it paid off. We got Pekola against Oak. Maestro says he's restarting his PC. Joining soon. Yeah. So I guess what we'll do is we'll wait for Maestro. Oak's already connecting. Good to see you're in, Oak. We're gonna wait for Maestro actually first, and if Kami doesn't show up, though, we'll let you in very soon. But I'm glad to see that you're ready to go. You'll be fighting Pekola. You might have heard me mention those two names. That's probably why you joined. That's not a problem. All right. I'm not gonna wait much longer for Kami though. Let's give him another minute or so, and then if not, we'll just move on. So be ready, Oak. I'll let you back in very soon, probably. I just want to give Kami a chance. I guess a positive way to look at it for those of you who are waiting in between for people to join is that if they don't ultimately show up, the tourney is significantly shorter. Obviously, we like to have full brackets. The more fights, the better. But you know, I guess that's a positive way to look at it for those who are a bit impatient, and understandably so, because we want to get into the action. Okay, Maestro is here though. We know he's good to go. And I think, yeah, we're gonna move on. Kami has not shown up, so hang tight, Maestro. Hang tight. All right. Pekola against Oak. Oak, you may come in now. Yep, you're ready to go. I like it. Saw you connecting even before the notification. That's good. All right, Pekola is in. I think I'm friends with him. That was probably unnecessary to ping him, but that's okay. Let me have a look here. Pekola on the left, Oak on the right. Okay. Names are set up. I'll try to look out for the score. I can always move the stream back on my phone if I miss it, though, so it's not a big deal. I hope that does not slow things down too much, that I have to get used to that. Usually we just focused on wins, so... Anyway, Pekola on the... Sorry, Pekola on the right, yeah. Yeah. Left, sorry. I'm losing my mind already. Alright. Yeah, you guys got it right. You're good to go. Yeah, you're good to go if that's Peckle or Oak, sorry, picking Laszlo. And that was a Gideon pick by, was that Pekla? That's an interesting pick. We're seeing some alternate picks here. Hopefully they remembered this is not a Saber only. So hopefully Pekla picked that on purpose. He did. Alright. Doesn't normally play Gideon, but I think he knows what he's doing with him. Pekla is a very versatile player in general, so I wouldn't count him out over that. Good strike to the arm by Pekla. Nice feint by Pekla, tricking Oak into, I think he was going to throw a cut there, and that's why he was so vulnerable. Not to mention the angle that Pekla picked. Beautiful feint. Thrust attempt, blocked. Pekla standing still. Is he good? He's good. That was a little weird. And Oak gets him with what we call the Vineyard. That's the sidestep Y with Laszlo. That's just because a member of the community named Vineyard is famous for using that. Yeah, it's a really good attack, though. Really good attack. And nonetheless, Pekla with another flag. Gideon's cuts are very devastating. Laszlo's are too. But, wow, Pekla crashed through. That was well done. And Oak got a hit as well. This is actually a pretty intense flag right here. Oak is backing away, being patient. Gotta be careful though. Pekla is just applying tons of passive pressure as well as pressure of his attacks, and I think that was a pretty predictable outcome. Oak just shot in for the kill, and that resulted in a double. Another feint by Pekla, and then Oak is forced back by that leg cut. Another slash to the belly, cutting his belly open and disemboweling him. Nicely done by Pekla. Big cuts by Pekla, doing some cancels with Gideon too. That's terrifying. Utterly terrifying to play against, I'm sure. Pekla is applying the knowledge that he's gained from his other characters, especially Zera, to Gideon here. And it's proving extremely effective. Oak just is struggling to find a way in. And when Oak gets passive, Pekla applies tons of pressure, and he knows exactly the sorts of angles you need to pick against Laszlo to get past that auto guard. But Oak gets a good flag with the Vineyard again. Okay, Oak is getting warmed up. He's trying to figure something out here. Oh, he tried to retreat, but that was not a leg cut. That was an arm cut. The arm was still further out. That was a good attempt at retreating, but that cut reaches out farther and hits harder than people often expect. Pekla needs one more. Some more feinting. He's being very tricky with that. Oh, nice sidestep again by Oak. That move is working really well, but it's really scary to get in the pocket like that against Gideon. Oak might need to figure something else out. Okay, Oak is trying to initiate. Oh, right to the groin to finish him off. Damn. Oh man, that was a brutal hit. False edge cut to the groin by Pekla. Okay, let me just look back in the stream here. I forgot to look at the score. I believe it's 7-3. Yes, 7-3. That I remembered correctly. That's good. Okay. Okay, Maltese against Wrath. I think we'll keep going because we pinged Kami enough. If Kami doesn't show up at this point, it's, you know, might as well disqualify him, you know? Again, we'll wait until round 3 before we start doing stuff like that, though. Let's see if Maltese and Wrath are here. Whoops, wrong chat. That's the worst possible place, I think, to be hit with that false edge cut, because it would hurt like hell. I don't know about you, Maestro, but I felt that one. Oh, man. Okay. I think that's the first time I've seen that hit the groin so directly, too. Anyway, Wrath is here. It's good to see. And we're going to wait a bit for Maltese. I saw Maltese on the server earlier today, so... Don't know if he's around, though. Oh yeah, that's the Deluge event there. I was wondering what the notification was about. It's a fun little event we're doing on the server. Which I believe is tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Okay, let's get Maltese a couple more minutes, and if he doesn't show up, we'll move on. Wrath is here, though, so that's good. So you're not going to get disqualified or anything, Wrath, don't worry. It's just if Maltese doesn't show up, then we'll have to remove him by the third round. So Oak, that means you actually skip your fight if Maltese doesn't show up. We actually move on to Wrath against Maestro. So actually, Wrath, stay in the parsec because we're gonna have you fight Maestro quite shortly if Maltese doesn't show up. Hey Tao, glad to see you in the chat. Bit of a slow start just because some people haven't shown up, but we'll start picking up the pace really quickly as we figure out who is here and who isn't. So that's 2 no-shows total, which is a shame, but it's how it goes sometimes. Like I always say, though, if you aren't able to show up, don't be afraid to just exit the tourney on your own. That way we're not pinging you all the time when you can't show up. Obviously, something might have happened too, though. I get that. Real life matters more. Okay. We're not going to wait any longer, I don't think. So, stay in, Wrath. I was about to kick you, but no, you need to stay in because actually, you're going to be fighting Maestro. So, Maestro, hopefully you're ready to go. You're actually fighting again. Yeah, you should have seen that, Tao. It was a really brutal cut. False edge cut, too. Right to the groin. Okay, Wrath is in. Maestro is in. Okay. Wrath, you're gonna get the left side. Alright. And I'm just gonna give Wrath the keyboard. Because I know Wrath needs it. And Pekla, be ready, because you're gonna fight me right after this one. Wrath on the left, Maestro on the right. Perfect. Maestro going with Zera. Wrath about to go with Gideon, but maybe second guessed that and went with Yendrick. Oat says he was in the mood for winning the tourney, but then I took a hit in the groin. Yeah, that'll definitely sour your mood. Maybe do a bit more than that. Okay, Pendulum by Wrath. Brave hits at the half, keeps going. That's what you need to do with Yendrick, and that's a kill for Wrath. Wrath is going to be terrifying if he sticks with Yendrick or any of his other good characters. I think Wrath was a bit too inactive there. And Maestro capitalized. We're going to see a lot of that probably. Just either player capitalizing on the fact that the other one is too passive. because they both can hit each other really easily. Whoa, that's a very good attempt by Maestro, and he actually follows it up with the retreat cut. That was smart by Maestro. And Wrath probably thought he was safe to move in. That's a bit of an axe head hit as well. It didn't register properly because it wasn't a very good hit, I don't think. Either way, Maestro's hit was legit, so, and actually hit by Wrath though, a very good hit to the hand. All fighters have a plan until you get hit in the groin. Yep, exactly. Exactly. All plans go out the window when that happens. Oh goodness, big cuts by Maestro, but actually Wrath counters that. I thought Maestro had him. Wrath is putting up a fight, but he is behind. He has to figure something else out. He keeps going with those chops, and Maestro's retreat actually puts him in danger. That's the trick of Yendrick. You gotta know when to retreat, when to not retreat. Sometimes retreating is bad, sometimes moving forward is bad, and it can be really tricky, depending on the attack that he's using. And Wrath ties it up. Nicely done by Wrath. Just gotta keep showing that aggression. Oh, he got a slight hit, but Maestro's hit was much more convincing. It's all about spacing for Wrath, and which move to use when. Oh, very risky from both of them, I would say. Maestro finally catching him with the stab. That is 7-4. 5, sorry. I cannot count. 7-5, let's be clear. Alright. 7-5, Maestro Cake. Close fight, guys. Good job. And I'll let Pekla in now. Good to see Wrath putting up a good fight here, too. Okay. Pekla, you're going to take the right side this time. And let me just make sure you have keyboard before we proceed. You do not, so I'll give it to you. And there we go. Good luck. I'm going to be quiet for this one again, by the way. Not a whole lot of commentary will be heard in this one. Yeah, Yendrick is very scary indeed. Anyway, I'll stay quiet for now and gotta focus. His Gideon is terrifying today. good fight, Pekla. I enjoyed that so much. Because we were both finding such clean angles against each other. And I love how many of our fights were over in one cut. Because all it took was one, like, misstep, one bad position, and one of us was just cut down in one blow. So, very good fight. That was 7-5, right? Let me check. I was so focused on the fight. Sorry about that, guys. Can anyone confirm? I believe that was 7-5. I'm looking at it back now. Just want to see if anyone can respond quicker. I definitely it's a crazy fight. Okay, yes, it was 7-5. I remembered correctly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Kami is not here to my knowledge. Let me check. Yeah, we have to because they're not here. That's just how it is. Sorry. Yeah, that's a good point. Malty is not here. And I think I said by round 3. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna disqualify those two because neither of them have said anything. So let me just do that quickly. If they show up, maybe I'll let them back in. But for now, let me look at participants here. So who has not shown up? Malty has not shown up. And Kami has not shown up. The others have, so that's good. That'll make it easier to skip too. It'll make it easier to just continue on. All right. So yeah, we're back to Maestro against Design Flaw, unfortunately. I mean, we could do one more round, but the problem is other people have only had to do one round so far, so I don't know if it'd be fair to suddenly switch it to 2. But yeah, if we were doing like 6 people, I could see, like from the get-go, I could definitely see doing a second round to make up the difference, so to speak, so it's not too short. But for now, we're gonna stick to the format we've chosen and go from there. But man, Pekla, that was one of the cleanest saber fights I've had, I think. Just because you were extremely accurate and then I got extremely accurate as I adjusted, and then it just became a battle of positioning and of angles. So it was so cool. Okay, so Maestro, you're gonna take the left side. Design Flaw, you're gonna take the right side. Yeah, you're both in. Perfect. You had me shook, Pekla, too, like, because of how easily you hit me. Like, even my auto guard struggled with some of those cuts, so even when I was super patient, I had to space myself just right. So is Design Flaw gonna go with Marie again, or is he gonna go with Zara? Zara, yeah. I think he's played Zara before. He's kind of experimenting with characters, I think. I don't think he has a specific character in mind as to who he wants to play, but that's all good. He has experience with the game already, but he's still trying to get a handle of who's the best in his hands for PvP. So, and also Zara to counter Zara is perfectly reasonable. So I totally get it from that perspective too. So Maestro taking his time, but applying passive pressure. There's a bit of a trade, but Maestro gets a better hit in. Whoa, that was a big cut by Design Flaw, but it was stopped dead by Maestro's guard. It had some power, though, I could tell by how the blades interacted. Thrust attempt, but it's parried by Maestro actively, and then Maestro gets another cut. Maestro is a very good Zera player. I'm surprised that was a double, actually. I thought that was going to be Maestro's. But that windmill technique is very deceptive. So good by Design Flaw to force that double at the very least. Design Flaw keeping his distance. Goes with Holy Stance. Maestro seeking the punish, but Design Flaw was using that as bait. So nicely done with the retreat cuts. Oh, there's a stab to the face by Maestro. Brutal combination. Oh, strike to the head by Maestro. Nice strike to punish the retreat cut. Maestro probably knows how to do that with Zera. Sidestep cut attempted, but at best that was a slight hit. I don't think that even landed, though. So Maestro got it. Maestro rushing in. He's confident, but he's got to be careful. Design Flaw can still come back. That was a really well-timed thrust by Design Flaw. Whoa. Okay, a ghost hit with the retreat cut, but that's good for Design Flaw. Oh, the windmill, but Maestro got to the side. It almost looked like Design Flaw was going to get a hit with the false edge, but I think Maestro's hit either way was more convincing, even if it did land. So Maestro applying some pressure with those cuts, but staying out of range. Trying to get Design Flaw to make a mistake by the look of it. Forces a double. Wow, okay, so Design Flaw Zera tried to get up after that. I don't know if you guys caught that. His leg was cut from under him, but then he still tried to get back up. At least that's what it looked like, and then he went down. Some movement by Design Flaw. Beautiful footwork. Punishing Maestro's mistake. You cannot underestimate Design Flaw. Oh, well-timed thrust by Maestro finishes it. With that said, Design Flaw once again, I think, held up pretty well against a Zera master like Maestro. Alright, good fight, guys. So that should be 7-4. Yeah, just looking back, making sure I caught that. And I did, so. My memory's better than I give it credit for. I'm just not used to having to keep an eye out for that, but that's okay. Alright, Wrath and Oaken. Nothing from Kami and nothing from Multi, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but we just gotta carry on. I guess on the bright side for participants, this tourney will be wrapped up pretty quickly, but it is always a shame when people don't show up. Okay, so Wrath and Oak are in. Oh, did I kick Wrath by mistake? He disappeared. Oh, never mind. It's just weird visual stuff going on with Parsec. Alright, let's get him keyboard. Oh, I got a ping. Hang on. Oh, Maltese is here now. I guess I can let him back in if he's willing to do a bunch of fights, but I did say I would disqualify, so let's do this fight first, and we'll go from there. Alright. Wrath on the left, Oak on the right. Alright, let's go. Just making sure the names are in order. Since Malti appeared like when we were on the third round, I think we can give him a pass, but after the third round, we're not gonna, I don't think, let people in. But we'll see. Alright, Wrath going with Alexander by the look of it. And obviously Oak is going with his tried and true pick, I believe. Yes, Laszlo against Alexander. Pretty classic matchup here. Both fighters have good footwork. Both characters, I should say. They both hit really hard. Laszlo's quicker, though, and arguably better in the pocket. Alexander is a little bit better at medium range. And Laszlo, I'd say, has faster linear footwork, but Alexander has better lateral movement. So, very interesting dynamic to see these two going at it. And Wrath with the first point, good side steps, getting around Oak's guard. Oak was maybe a bit too linear in that flag. And another strike by Wrath. Wrath is a very good Alexander, actually. His Alexander is definitely not to be underestimated. He has defeated me in the Alexander mirror before. Good upward slash by Oak. Oak has played this matchup a lot too, though, so I do not predict this will be an easy fight for Wrath if he pulls this one off, but it is very possible that he pulls it off. Very good feint with the long guard by Wrath. Keeps up the pressure of those cuts and eventually forces a double. That's the thing you gotta sort of be careful of. Sometimes when you attack over and over again, all you're doing is guaranteeing a double. You're not necessarily getting much done. But that is better than simply losing the flag, I suppose. Always gotta be sure your attacks are doing something useful, though, I think. Wow, good parry. Then that sidestep Y. That's a very useful way to use it. You parry, then you change up the tempo and the range with that Y cut, and it works especially against Laszlo's exposed elbow, I would say. It was working against Pekola's Gideon, too, because of the angles that he was picking. Bunch of cuts by Oak, and eventually they get through, overwhelming the guard, and Wrath is tired, but Oak does not take the opportunity. Oak punches him. Finally gets the arm. Oak is ahead now. I hope Oak wasn't lagging or something. I was surprised he didn't just immediately cut him down. That's not really like him. Oak is very precise with his attacks. There you go. Good retreat slash by Oak. Big cut by Wrath, and it almost connects. That was a very good try. But I think Oak has him figured out now, and Wrath is getting a bit desperate. But Wrath just has to play this carefully. He can come back. That was a really good strike by Wrath. I think Wrath's trying to snipe that arm. Oh, but Oak had a similar idea and knew how to counter that strat. So he just got in close, moved to the side, strike the head. I believe that is 7-4. I should be paying a bit more attention to that, but that's what I remembered, so. Yeah, definitely 7-4. Alright. Okay. So I think we'll let Maltese in, but I'm not gonna let anyone else in. You slept. Okay, yeah, we'll let you in. I'll be nice in that regard. It just kind of complicates things, so let me have a look. Participants. Should be able to just let him back in. Yeah. Okay, so Maltese against Wrath. Let's do that fight. So Wrath, actually stay in. You're doing another fight. Yeah. So I'll be, since it's round 3, I'll just let him in. But after that, we're gonna leave it as it is. So at this point, Kami is disqualified. Alright, good to see Maltese here. Maltese, you are on the left. Wrath, you're going to be on the right. Alright. And Maltese, stay in. We're going to have you do some fights. So I believe you're fighting me next. Okay. Alexander by Wrath. Maltese going with Kalkstein. Very 50-50 matchup as far as characters go. Um, Obviously, skill matters more than anything else, but matchups are a thing too. And I think Calc and Alex have tools that will absolutely destroy each other. So it's like when two glass cannons fight each other. Alex destroys Calc up close, Calc destroys Alex at a distance. And they can both pick good angles against each other. And that's a good point for multi. Ooh, that's that new move Wrath was trying, and he actually got away with it in the end. That's an interesting death pose for multi there. Wow. Okay, good lateral movement by Wrath, but he gets sniped in the arm. Those upward cuts are absolutely brutal against Alex. Calc is no exception, and he has more reach than players might be expecting. Wrath throwing some cuts, but they're out of measure. Gotta be careful. He manages to snipe the arm eventually, but that only forces a double. Okay, there's a trade. Jumping in, but oh my goodness, that attack does not work. Not in that scenario, anyway. Alright, so Rav has to be careful. I get that he's trying to close the distance. That is the right thing, but gotta do it correctly, otherwise you're gonna be picked apart. Good stab. Well, upward slash, but I think there is a strike there as well from multi. Alexander does not trade very well with Calc. They trade pretty evenly. Because Kalkstein's cuts hit just as hard as his cuts. Because they both use heavy swords, but that are optimized for cutting. But Calc's stabs, I would say, hit harder than Alexander's stab. And he only has one stab, really, so... Whereas Calc has a bunch, so... You don't really want to be trading with Calc if you can avoid it, I don't think. The only saving grace if you are trading would be that Calc has less stamina, but... Really, you want to fence as cleanly as possible in this matchup. And because as soon as there's an opening, your opponent will take it, and you will be destroyed. That said, Wrath is holding up well in this one. With long guard. Then that new move. Retreats, though, when he's about to be punished. That's good on his part. He sensed when he was in danger, and he used the cut to back away. That's a stab to the heart, but that cut barely saves him. Bit of a dash. He gets in close, but unfortunately he's actually cut on his way in. That was a very good attempt by Wrath, though. Wrath is really struggling to find a way to close. That upward cut is actually parried with a cut, but Maltese is able to back away just in time to land a stab. Those stabs can be very deceptive. Stab attempt. Oh, but that retreat thrust saves him. That was a good attempt by Wrath, but that point was still online. He had to wait a bit longer if he was going to punish that. Or use something that would get that point offline. What he did there just forced a double. Oh, he moves to the side, but Calc's cuts, yeah, they're very powerful there. And that sideways slash does not always kill, so... Very tough. Oh, that new move, but he's too close. He hit with the hilt, not the blade, and so it did not do anything. Good strike to the throat by Wrath. That was very close flag. That could have been anybody's. Good thrust. I think they hit the shoulder, and the game thinks they hit a bit of the head, too, or maybe that's blood splatter. I think that's a decal, actually, but I don't know. Oh, another stab. Good use of the thrust, but actually jumping in works for Wrath there. I'm very surprised. I think that was gonna be a. I thought that was gonna be a double. But Wrath is making something work here. It's a very close fight. Oh, he gets close, but he gets punched. I thought that was gonna be Wrath's, but Malty was quick enough on the draw to get a good punch, and there's another stab. Wrath keeps opening himself up for those. Gotta be very careful. Big cut, and he gets stabbed again, but he's still in the fight, forces a double. Gotta give Wrath credit for just keeping up the pressure, but he really has to find a way to fend off those stabs. He cannot afford to be just pincushioned like that. Oh, a bit of a pause by Maltese, maybe a bit of a wrong input or something. And Wrath immediately capitalized. He had to, because otherwise Maltese could have killed him pretty quickly too. That's the range where Wrath is at an advantage. Cut by Wrath, and then I sniped to the arm. Beautifully done by Wrath. Excellent comeback, 7-6. Okay, let me redo that one. Maltese, stay in, by the way. Okay, let me have a look here. You're actually fighting Oak, not me. My bad. So, Oak, get in here. Very good win by Wrath. Good Oaks here, of course. Okay, Oak, you're going to take the left. Malty, you're going to take the right. And so you're going to fight me after this, Malty. That's how that's going to work. And we'll go from there. Alright. Yeah, very close match. And that's what I mean when I say that matchup's 50-50. There's just so much that can go wrong for both fighters. Oak sticking with Laszlo, Malty sticking with Calc. I tend to think Calc has the advantage against Laszlo, actually. Laszlo definitely has some tools he can use, but I think the tools are a little bit limited. And Calc just has an easier time stabbing him, so, and using his range. Laszlo has to rely on his ability to close and use those quick cuts to his advantage, but that was a really quick thrust that got a kill. I think that's the primary problem Laszlo has in this matchup. And also cracking open the guard. Calc has a very good guard against much of Laszlo's cuts specifically. So Oak's going to have some trouble, but he's doing the right thing, trying to find a way in. There, he found a moment to land some stabs. Another stab, nicely done by Oak. Forces a double, though. Calc can be pretty quick on the recovery, actually, sometimes. Good combination, and Oak unfortunately went for a stab as well, but Laszlo's stabs are less lethal than Calc's stabs on average. That stab from Oak is still a really useful tool, but I'd say it's more useful as a harassing tool to set an opponent up for a more brutal strike than to end the fight on its own. Unless you're fighting Marie. Marie has less HP, so that can be useful. And again, Oak just runs into that point. That said, though, that cut to the belly Oak got for his flag was really beautiful, too. That seems to be one of Calc's openings. Oak trying to close in. Unfortunately, he gets poked before he can land anything. And he's forced to retreat. Stabs. Yeah, that's going to be the problem. Oak just cannot figure out how to stop those thrusts. There you go. Good cut. Malty was a bit close to... It was a bit slow to prevent Oak from moving in. And Oak took advantage of that. Some initiation attempt by Maltese with those stabs. Malty has pretty much switched to mostly a thrust style, but as I say that, he actually goes for a cut, a sidestep cut to prevent Oak from getting close. Oak is applying a lot of passive pressure, trying to bait out some attacks, I think, so he can find an opportunity, but it doesn't work. Maltese is playing this beautifully. Thrust attempt does not land. A bunch of cuts, and Oak thinks he has an opportunity to close in, but I think that the slowness of the cut actually threw him off, and it was a double. Thrust, Oak just bravely facing down that point and shoots in for that kill. That was a very close flag there. Maltese nearly stopped him in his tracks with that. But maybe that's the type of thing Oak needs to do. Maybe he needs to take those risks, but he needs to take them in a very calculated way. Good strike downward from Oak. We might see another comeback. 4 flags for Oak. Needs 3 more. Gotta play this perfectly from this point on. The pressure is definitely on. But Oak is skilled. He can definitely pull something like that off. Unfortunately, though, that upward slash, and it's followed up by a stab. So that is 7-4 in favor of Multi. All right, Multi, you're gonna fight me now, and you're gonna take the left side. All right, good luck. Gonna be quiet again. 1. Yeah, Incortada is such a beautiful move because you can block and attack with it at the same time. You deny your opponent's line of attack, then you just go for it. And it's a very good way to deal with thrust. You get to the side, parry that thrust, then you just go for an Incortada. Very calculated move. Good fight. Okay, so now we got Design Flaw against Pekla. It wasn't so much spam Pekla, it's that I was using attacks to deny his attacks from landing, essentially. And then getting to the side, Incortading. And yeah, sometimes I do sewing machine attacks with Marta, but ultimately there's a lot of tactics behind what I'm doing, so it's not mindless spam. I'm denying him certain lines of attacks and all the rest of it, so. I was varying the thrust a bit too. I wasn't just doing the Incortada, I was also doing a few others, so. Yeah, on the one hand, spam would not work in real life, but on the other hand, if you've stabbed somebody and they're not able to attack you back because of how you set up the engagement, you can stab them right back. That's something rapiers are very good at, so, you know. Need to readmit multi to the tourney? I already did that. Anyway, design flaw is in here. As you can see, Maestro, I gave him the point there, so. If we look at participants, he's in the tourney, I believe, so. Yes, he's right here, so. Still got the strike. Yeah, that's just the way Parsec is. I don't. It's not Parsec. Challenges. So it'll probably be fixed by the time we're done. If it's not, I'll address that. But he is in the tourney. So anyway, let's see here. Design flaw. You're on the left, and Pekala, you're on the right. Yeah, of course. That's the one thing that the game obviously might not get right compared to real life, but you know. The actual tactics behind what I was doing though make perfect sense. And to be fair, I was doing the long guard sidestep thrust as well. I was not just doing the the move that's named in Cortana. I was moving to the side a lot though. That is true. But I was going for a lot of one-hit kills too. It wasn't really spam. It was just choosing my moment and using thrust to keep my opponent at bay, going from different angles, thrusting high, thrusting low, that type of thing, and then just getting that quick thrust in. Okay, they're both unsure of what to pick, I think. It's always entertaining to see how this plays out. We're seeing a Calc mirror, perhaps. I'd love to see that, by the way. But we might see a Marta. Yes, we're going to see a Marta from Design Flaw. Probably inspired by my success with her. I used to say Marie is better than Marta, but after discovering the nuances of her moves and the way she moves her point around, I tend to think she's actually better than Marie now. Certainly, she's better than Marie in matchups like this, where you're dealing with weapons that are not rapiers. You might be able to argue Marie can still best her in a rapier duel, though. I just think Marta is overall stronger. Design flaw and going for some stabs. That was a good move. Good retreat. hitting the face. It was a little weird looking, but it did hit the face. To be fair, a lot of thrusts in this game look weird for the simple fact that they do not stick in the body the same way they would in real life, so that's probably something Kubo will add later. Anyway, 1-1, even fight so far. Bit of a pause as they try to feel each other out here. Good a retreat attempt by Design Flaw. He's playing Marta in a different way from how I'm doing it, which is really cool to see, and that's a double. There's a stem. Good thrust by Design Flaw after the blade beat. And there's a stab by Pekkala. Yeah, Pekkala makes a good point there. You haven't seen the more deranged spam, and ultimately, getting, even if it is spam, at the end of the day, it's not worth getting mad about. Players will use every tactic in the book to win, and that's just how it is. It's not worth it to get mad over those things. Yeah, that could be, because I have had a lot of success with Marta lately against Marie. I used to think it was Marie, though, because Marie has quicker footwork and a bit more reach in certain moves, but I think Marta has better precise point work than Marie does, so yeah, you might very well be right. I would have to test that a bit more, because I'm good with both of them, actually, so it's sort of difficult for me to say. Design Flaw, drop the sewing machine, not like this. Yeah. Stab attempt, but gets punished by Design Flaw. I think Marta is just better in this matchup, so it was a good pick by Design Flaw. Design Flaw is very familiar with Calc as well, so he knows what Pekkala is going to be trying to do. That said, it's an even fight so far. You can sub in for Kami if you want more matches. I guess we could. Yeah, at this point, Kami's not going to show up, so... Plus, you usually show up, so if you're here, I mean, I don't see why not, you know? We'll address that after the fight, though. Glad to see you, Luck. Rush attempt gets a cut to the face. This is a very close fight, actually. There's pauses in the fight, but then they go at it. You can't show up on time anymore, got classes at this time. Fair enough, yeah. Classes are more important. Yeah, I'm gonna be busy come September, and so I think I'm gonna have to put an end to the Thursday round robins for the rest of the year, unfortunately, after August, so yeah, I totally get that. Pekkala needs one more. He's doing really well here. He has a strat figured out to deal with Marta. You want to be on left foot forward more with Calc here, Multi says. I don't play Calc, so I wouldn't know, but I think that sounds about right. Just from what I've done with Calc. That said, Pekkala seems to like right foot forward, at least in this flag. Very tactical fight here. Cuts, thrust to the face, but there's also a stab to the arm by Pekkala. Very stressful for both of them. It's why they're not eager to engage too quickly, because one fighter might find himself impaled. Better forward thrust, yeah, I can see that. Good stab by Pekkala, finally gets the point. Pekla showing us that Cal can definitely do it. Alright. Not that that was in dispute, but it's definitely a tough one. Alright, that is 7-6 for Pekla. I almost put 5, 6. There we go. Okay, I guess I can try letting you in, Luck. Alright, so let me figure this out here. I guess I gotta reactivate him. Then I gotta sub him in. Okay, I gotta get your username or email. Let me figure this out quickly. I think I just gotta do this and then just look for a tourney that you participated in. So probably this one. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so it should have notified you, Luck, that you're being let in. So head to your not parsec, head to your challenge account and then just accept it, I guess, and then you'll be in. For now though, we'll do my fight against Wrath just to save time. And then we'll come back to you once you're in. You'll have to do some fights, but hopefully you're okay with that. Okay, let's get Wrath in here. And let's do an Alexander Mirror Wrath. I gotta get some revenge for what you did to me that other tournament. You accepted. Perfect. Alright, we'll get right back to your fight then. Right after this one. Okay, let's see. I get the left side. Should have spammed in Cortada. Against Calc, I don't know if that always works, though. I think Calc can beat that blade down. I think there's ways around it. Alright, anyway. Wrath, you're gonna get keyboard. It is a good move, though. There's no doubt about it. I won't dispute that. Calc has decent blade beats into lunge. Yeah, Peklo was using a lot of those, so those really helped him out. Alright, he goes to the Alexander Mirror. Perfect. If you went with Yendrick or something, though, I would not have held that against you. Because you gotta win. So, use any character you want. Don't feel obligated to do it. But hey, that's good bragging rights to defeat me in an Alex Mirror 2 times in a row. Because I'm supposed to be the master. Good luck. Stick with Alex, you're very good with him. Very good try. Okay, so luck should be in here. I think I just need to refresh. Yeah, it says luck is, I don't know what's up with that, but that's just challenge being weird. Let me just check the score there. That was 7-5. Okay. Okay, luck against Maestro. Luck, you're gonna have to do a bunch of fights just like Multi did. So get in here. Yeah, that's cool of you. Awesome. Luck always does well in my round robins, so he's definitely someone to watch out for. Oh yeah, I should ping Maestro too. Get him in here. Hey, Youngkins. What's up? Duels are going well so far. We had some no-shows, but they've all been replaced, so... And also, Maltese ended up showing up in the end, so that was good. So we got a full tourney, actually. And so far, the fights have been really good, so... Still don't know why the cross is in the names, but... Yeah, we'll figure it out. If we need to address that later on, we definitely will. Good to see you here, Candice, by the way. Waiting for Maestro Cake. Might not have expected to be fighting right away. Oh, they're trying to decide like what sort of fight they're gonna do. Fair enough, fair enough. Maestro wants to do a rapier fight. Need a link. I gave you a link. There you go. Yeah, it's the same link, so there you go. Alright. Man up, Yazik. Oh, man. Okay. So let's see who they're gonna pick. I'm actually curious now, because Maestro doesn't seem to want to do a saber duel. Probably Zera or something. Okay, Maestro on the left, Luck on the right. Alright. I'd love to see a saber duel personally, but I will not hold it against any of you if you decide to not do that. Maestro thinking about doing rapiers. I don't think Luck's gonna do that though. Okay, Maestro finally goes with Yazik. Um, let's see if this was his undoing or not. Okay, so Luck immediately going for a stab. Bit of feinting. As we've talked about before, Maestro is a more principled Yazik player, whereas Luck loves using these advanced moves and just darting in and out using these feints, combinations. It's a really cool dynamic between these two. Maestro getting the first point there. Corkscrew battle. That'd be kind of cool if they both started doing that a lot. Maestro trying to snipe that arm. You can see what he's doing there. He's fencing in a more principled way, holding his ground when Luck moves forward and trying to snipe that arm with a counter. Maestro tends to like playing the counter-strike game. Not that he's passive, but he really likes defending that first blow so that he can land a clean hit of his own. Luck is definitely the more aggressive of the two. Corkscrew thrust, then a slash. Nicely done by Luck. Some lunging. Those moves are very dangerous. He actually parries with the feint there. Nicely done by Luck. Strike, but it's out of measure. Corkscrew thrust nearly lands, but Maestro is just far enough away, and then he attacks, sealing the deal. Nice upward slash by Maestro. That's a very lethal move. It appears to be lethal against Yazuk, too. And it might be a counter to Luck's favorite strategy. Maestro holding long guard. He anticipates some kind of thrust. He also might be threatening one of his own. Oh, and that slash. It was kind of janky because he was close. When you do it that close in, it's iffy as to whether that'll hit properly. That's just the way the technique is. Good lunge by Maestro and follows it up, using some of Luck's tools against him expertly. Feint by Luck, but it gets punished. That his feint made the lunge slower, so it was much easier to predict. Maestro trying to upward slash again. Oh, but Luck with a good parry riposte there and follows it up. So far quite even, actually. Luck has managed to even it up. But Maestro maintains a lead. It's only a small one. Corkscrew thrust again. It's a very good move, but you gotta get close enough for it to land. Maestro back against the wall there. Good control of the arena by Luck. Will Luck exploit it, though? There's a good lunge. Maestro keeps defending, but he's not able to attack effectively. And Luck takes it. Maestro ended up too defensive because Luck kept harassing his guard, and eventually a blow got in. And that drained his stamina, I think, which made his counter attacks quite slow. That's another lunge. Luck is figuring out how to punish this counter-striking style by Maestro. Harassing the guard constantly. That corkscrew thrust, however, fails. Luck might be throwing that thrust a bit too much. And Maestro capitalizes on that mistake. They both lunge. Perfect mirror there. They both end up taking a little bit of damage. Good parry, but... Oh, that cut almost landed. Then that snap cut from Maestro landed. Maestro sidestepping, and he avoids that lunge. Very nasty cut to the back there that Maestro took. There's a strike from Maestro. Maestro needing one more now. His principled Yazuk is winning out so far. Lunge attempt. It does not beat the long guard, though. Those B cuts tend not to do very well at that. Bunch of cuts from Luck. Parries Maestro's cuts with his own. Brutal flag right there. Maestro still needing one more, though. Luck has to play this carefully. Feinting, but Maestro was about to punish that, I think. Luck saw it and stopped. Parry riposte. Nice exchange. Upward slash, almost landing the kill shot there. That was an interesting delayed move there by Luck. Maestro didn't fall for it. Corkscrew thrust, gets some good damage in, but no kill. And Luck continues to harass Maestro's defenses. This is where he's at his strongest, when Maestro is not really able to reply. If you can get Maestro on the defensive, so much so that Maestro cannot reply back, then Luck can definitely take this one. Lunge attempt by Maestro gets punished. And this is a very good saber fight. Down to the final flag here. Anybody's game. Lunge. And there's some feinting too. Some baits. Both moving in and out, just out of range, though they know the range at which they're safe and the range at which they're in danger. There's a thrust. Luck does not follow it up properly, but Maestro is tired. This is Luck's chance. Does he take it? He keeps going. Maestro gets a tired swing. He's somehow still in the game. Finally, Luck gets it. That was probably very stressful for Luck. But luck got it. That's 7-6. 7-6. Oh man. Alright, luck, you're still in here. You gotta fight design flaw now. Yeah, exactly. This idea that defense defeats attack has been once again completely shattered because both play styles are perfectly viable as long as they're done intelligently. And luck proved that again, so well done. Maestro showing us though that counter striking also works. Both styles work really well. All right, luck on the left, design flaw on the right. Maestro versus luck never gets old. Yeah, I agree, Tao. Okay, luck left, design flaw right. Let's go. Luck probably gonna go with either Yazik or Barbash. Design flaw, possibly going with Marie. I'm actually not sure who he's gonna pick. I don't think he's sure who he's gonna pick either. He's a bit. Okay, he goes with Zera. Stay calc, walk the calc, Peckle says. Unfortunately, he's not gonna do that. It doesn't look like. He's been experimenting with other characters. To be fair, this is a pretty good matchup in favor of Zera, I tend to think. Not that Bara can't win, but Zera has some key advantages. Zera's flank too exposed. Yeah, that is one thing that Luck can use to his advantage. That is a good point by Pekla. Pekla, of course, knows Zera inside and out. Bara Paradise. Ooh, parry by Luck, but he couldn't follow it up. Big attacks by Design Flaw, forcing a double. Windmill cuts. Out of range. Design Flaw relying on brute force here, but Luck gets the first flag. A lot of people tend to think of longswords as very brute force type weapons. They definitely can hit pretty hard, but you gotta use them with finesse, just like any sword. And Luck is playing this really well. Not playing Zera's game, just waiting for Zera to make a mistake. And that's a double. Luck trying to sidestep. Design Flaw doing it too, and that's Luck's chance. He takes it. Design Flaw might be a bit more unfamiliar with Zera's attacks too, which probably isn't going to help. But Zera is a powerful character, so if he does master Zera, he'll be quite a good opponent. Let me just channel that. Big cut, however, gets parried. Nicely done by Luck, sidestepping with a deflectional parry to strike Zera's flank. And Luck is a very good Barbash player too. There's definitely things that translate over from Yazik, so. Yeah, and Luck is at least forcing a double with each of these exchanges, for the most part. So he is in a very good spot. There's the holy stance. The giant flaw of retreat cuts as well. Trying to rush in, and that hand is just sliced right off. And there's a sidestep. And that's a double. Nothing Design Flaw is trying is really working. At best, he's getting a double for most of these. That's another good sidestep, and Luck with his reality warping cut powers is just deleted Design Flaw's sword. It just disappeared. I don't know where it went. We saw earlier that Luck's cuts are powerful enough to straight up delete the universe, so surely deleting a sword is not that big of a deal for him. And there's a good strike from Design Flaw. No, again he deletes the sword. Look at that. He's deleting his sword and striking the hand. Oh my goodness. Luck is just completely warping space-time here, and that's a double. The spam Y retreat is not good, Pekla says. Yeah, it's kind of predictable. Gotta figure something else out. There's a thrust from Luck, and then a strike to the head. Beautifully done by Luck. And I noticed Luck changed up the moves he was using, too, to adapt to the character he was fighting, and that was really well done on his part. So I believe that is 7-1. Alright, let's submit those scores. And Luck, you're going to be fighting Pekla now. Let's see here. Pekla will be on the left, Luck will be on the right. Oh, Pekla's already coming in. Perfect. Perfect. I won't bother pinging you then. Okay, and after this, we're going to have Luck against Multi, and then Oak against Maestro Cake. And then Oak, you're going to have to stay in, because you're actually going to be fighting me after that. Alright. Your bar can be tough. Yeah, for sure. Alright, Pekla on the left. Hang on, I might not have given you keyboard. Yeah, that's all. Alright, you got keyboard now. Let's try that again. No real technical issues this time around. That's good to see. All we've had is people not showing up right away. Or just not showing up at all. But we got that sorted out too, so... Who are they going to pick is the question. Pekla is thinking this through. I think he's going with Gideon. Luck's only either gonna pick Yazlik or Barabash. He goes with Yazlik. That is a sensible pick by him. And Pekla goes with Gideon. Good luck. Stab attempt by Luck. Maybe some bait. Good strike to the arm. Pekla's gonna have to be careful. That corkscrew thrust lands. And Luck is using his trademark strategy against Pekla. Pekla is gonna have to find out a way to punish that. Because Gideon's guard is a bit exposed. That's one way. Just tank the blows and go for a bigger upward slash. That was a beautiful corkscrew thrust he got, by the way. And that was a lunge, getting a kill. Luck is still ahead. Oh, he's fainting. Pekla trying to punish it. Thrust attempt gets struck again. That just forces a double, though. Gideon is very tanky. Downward cut attempted. Big cuts by Pekla. And by dominating the space there and attacking first, he's able to get a flag. Stab by Luck, forcing a kill there. That's a very lethal stab now. And a very quick one. Another stab does not get the kill, but it gets some good damage in there. There's more fainting. Pekla's going to have to figure something out here. Because Pekla's guard keeps getting harassed, and he just goes for the stab. Sometimes that's all you got to do. Just got to go for the attack. Get a clean kill. Very even fight so far. Pekla showing us that he's good with Saber, too. There's another stab. There's a lunge. It doesn't quite hit the arm, I don't think, but that first hit did. That's still good for Luck. He's forcing Pekla back. Just gotta find that blow that'll actually land a killing strike there. Oh, that upward slash. Deceptive reach by Pekla. That's one of the moves he was using on me. Lunging in, but his arm is cut off, and Pekla finally finding his rhythm here. Stab attempt does not get the kill. Lunge. Then that downward slash. It hits pretty hard, hitting the head. Luck is not out of it yet. Lunge attempt. Pekla keeps going, but actually Luck is able to beat back those attacks and get a solid hit of his own. Now it's dead even again. Stab attempt trying to hit that arm. Pekla is ready for it, though, I think. Blade beat, but can't quite follow it up. It's risky to follow it up, so I don't blame him. Thrust attempt, then tries to follow it up. That's a really good combination by Pekla, but Luck knows when to keep his distance. And Luck continues harassing him from just out of range. Strike attempt almost hits the arm. Pekla needing to be very careful. Oh, that thrust, but Luck sidestepped it, and that slash was stopped with a quick strike of Luck's. Upward slash by Pekla, finally getting the kill. And that's how Pekla's going to win this. He needs to get these really decisive blows in. And Luck is trying to use his speed to his advantage, but sometimes that's at the cost of power. Not always, though. Oh, he kind of parried it at first, but I think in trying to cut, he destroyed his structure, and so Pekla was able to just crush right through and hit him. So Design Flaw says he's exploring other characters, and that's totally fair. Anyway, Pekla takes it 7-5. And Luck, you're gonna fight Maltese now. Then we will get Oak against Maestro. That'll be a really cool fight. Yeah, he tanks your style up. I think Gideon might be a good counter to your style in general because of that. And also the fact that he's able to dish out so much damage. Whereas Yazid's damage can be a little bit unreliable with certain moves, so that's just how it is. Alright. Luck against Maltese. Luck will take the left, Maltese will take the right. I think after Oak's fight against Meister, by the way, I'll keep Oak in my Parsec, of course, but I think we'll just take a quick break, 5-minute break, no longer than that. And we'll go from there. Really good tourneys so far, guys. Cool to see the different styles clashing. We've seen all weapons take part too, which is really nice. Okay. Stab by luck, then a quick snap cut, but no kill shot. That's sometimes the challenge with his style. Upward slash, but it does bring down Multi's stamina, so that's to his advantage to get those hits when he can. As long as he does them safely, those stabs are dangerous, and so is that cut. Clothesline with the edge. Getting out there eating blades like Majin Buu. Yeah. Very beefy character. There's a good strike to the head by luck. Strike to the arm. Luck using his speed to his advantage, and those thrusts curve around Multi's defense. Well done by Luck. He patted his elbow, exactly. Snap cut to the arm, then there's another cut. Yeah, that's going to be the problem Maltese is going to face. Maltese needs to use that reach advantage. He can't be getting too close to Luck, otherwise Luck will pick him apart with his speed, potentially. Thrust attempt, another thrust. Oh, trying to beat that blade down, but he's got to watch that stamina. Now he's tired. Is Luck going to take the opportunity? You got to be careful. Yeah, that's unfortunately the problem. But he is tired, especially after that. Oh, he lunged in and struck him just before that tired slash could get any power. Disemboweling him. Yeah, that retreat thrust could be good. The ghost thrust, as people call it, when it's unusually fast. But can be a bit tough to land sometimes. Multi-reading the chat possible, but keep in mind YouTube is delayed because the nature of YouTube. So he probably got that message a bit late if he is reading it. Oh my goodness, just a bunch of thrusts. Another thrust, another thrust. And Luck takes it. Multi didn't have an answer for that, unfortunately. Alright, and Luck takes it. Pretty convincing win by Luck here. But nonetheless, good fight to both of you. And yes, Luck, you're finally done. We got Oak and Maestro now. And after this fight, we will take a break. But I'll keep Oak in my Parsec. Okay, Maestro Cake. In. Oak, you're going to be on the left. Maestro will be on the right. These two are veterans of the server, so I expect this one to be a banger. Yeah, they immediately went for their mains here. Maestro's been using Zera a lot lately, so. Alright, really curious to see how this will go. Good luck, guys. Saber against Longsword. Good parry by Oak, but unfortunately Maestro gets the first flag. Low guard by Maestro, but that is a bait. Usually is a bait. And good side steps. Another upward splash from Maestro. Maestro's on fire. Yeah, pretty much. Everyone is in some kind of dojo. I've got my own Alexander dojo too, pretty much. Yes, Peckler School is all about aggression. And that's a good point for Oak. Oak might get back into this one. Maestro's been doing a good job of exploiting advantageous angles and using his reach. And Oak is struggling to get a blow in. Thrust attempt gets parried, but Oak is struggling to follow it up because those retreat cuts are very fast afterwards. Maestro went for a push and then went for a strike. Holy stance. Actually, that's a double. That was a good hit by Maestro, but Oak manages to force a double. Thrust attempt. There's a thrust to the leg, and then another thrust, but then a cut by Maestro. And Oak doesn't really have an answer for this. Oak on the attack, forces a double with his barrage of cuts. Yeah, grappling is also tough to perform, I think, but if you time it well, there's moments where you absolutely can grapple, and people do not, like, take those opportunities for precisely the reason that Tao is putting forward there. Oh, that cut doesn't quite land. The cross guard protecting Maestro's hand. And Maestro takes it 7-1. A surprisingly convincing win. Alright, Oak. Stay in here. He didn't stay in here. That's okay. We're going to take a break anyway. He's coming back. Alright, perfect. Alright, we're going to take a break nonetheless. Won't be long. It'll just be 5 minutes so I can stretch my legs out, get a bit more water, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, guys. Gonna do my fight against Oak now. Oak will take the left. Actually, that's we don't need to change that. That's perfect. Good luck, Oak. Getting close to the end of the tourney, actually. This tourney has gone pretty smoothly despite the initial no-shows, so that's really good to see. Yeah, we're gonna go for main, so this will be a good one. Seven to three. Alright, very good fight. Okay, now we got multi against design flaw. I think this will be an interesting fight for sure. And then Wrath against Luck. Really excited to see that. Pekla against Maestro. Let's have a look at the chat. Okay, Maltese is in. Just need design flaw in here. Nice. They're gonna design flaw and Oak are gonna be doing their match after this tournament, which will be exciting. Um, so if they stream that, keep an eye out for it. I don't know if they will though. They'll probably stream that on Discord if they do. All right. Not another host victory. Well, I gotta get another one because if I win this one, I get the legend title. Maltese on the left, design flaw on the right. Okay, who are they gonna pick? That's Calc from Multi. Gideon from Design Flaw. Host wins 75% of the time? Not necessarily. Depends. In the history of our events, we've had many people host. And for instance, I often get to the finals and Venators host, which is a host in Romania, which is pretty far from Western Canada. So if I can do that, then, obviously it's crappy for those who don't have good connection, but it's definitely doable. Skill matters the most. And there's some stabs from Multi getting the first point. Most times, I don't know. Warden often fought on hosts other than his own, and he still has the most wins out of everybody except Venator, so. There's some people who just win regardless of the host they're on. Picado is kind of like that too. A lot of the Japanese and Korean players will challenge you regardless of the host, so, you know. Not to say it doesn't matter, but I wouldn't say it's the decisive factor. That's all I'm saying. On same skill, host matters. Yeah, that's where the host could play a role, a bigger role, I suppose. But I often find on a good EU host, the delay isn't crazy bad, At least for my connection. I don't know if it's different for other people in North America, but Tao's host, for instance, is very doable for me, and he's all the way over in Russia, so. Anyway, Maltese were some clean flags to begin this fight here. Another stab by Maltese, beautiful. Design flaw trying Gideon out, but he's seeing the flaws of Gideon's guard here. You don't know, yeah, you go crazy in your own host? Yeah, I think most of us do for sure. Yeah. It's a shame that there aren't more people hosting. It's pretty much just me and Tao, and I guess Vinard, but effectively I'm the one hosting that one along with Tao. So, I mean, because Vinard can't really host himself. But when we had Venator on board, we had another host along with that, and I guess you could say it was more balanced in that regard. So, if anyone wants to host tourneys, by the way, like feel free to reach out, and we can definitely get that sorted out. The more hosts, the better, I think. That's definitely the case. So, stab attempt does not land. That one does. Design Flaw has been getting some flags, but he's struggling still, I would say. Yeah, we could try Cloud again. I just find Cloud is often a bit slow at times, but yeah, we could obviously. It's good to have alternative hosts available at least. Yeah, Youngkins has hosted tourneys before, so I hope to see him do that more often. Also, Fro Fencer, if he ever gets back into hosting, that'd be amazing too. We used to have a much larger variety than we do now, so. Ah, I see, Peckle, yeah. More money equals, scaling it up, yeah. Yeah, Wrath is in Brazil, for those who don't know, so it'd be tough for him to host. Yeah, Eve's host could be really good if he gets a better internet. I do fine on his host, but I know sometimes it kind of implodes. And I don't know how well it would handle streaming, so. Eve's host is so bad. Sometimes it is, yeah. Anyway, Maltese with a relatively convincing win, 7-2. Oh, whoops. I find Eve's host struggles the most when there's multiple people. Like once you get to like 4 or something, it starts to sometimes get pretty bad. All right, Wrath against Luck. Yeah, Gideon's he's quick in short bursts, but he's slow to follow it up with a combo. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. He definitely feels that way. You get 40 ping on cans, yeah. Yeah, Youngkins is a really good host. Yeah, the more hosts, definitely the better off we'll be in that regard, because then we vary it up more, and then, whatever advantage host gives you would be mitigated by just the fact that there's a larger variety of hosts. So more people will have that advantage. Anyway, Wrath on the left, Luck on the right. Let me make sure Wrath has keyboard before we continue. There we go. More players from Great Britain, yeah. Or the East Coast, yeah. Okay, Luck goes with Yazuk. Alright, Wrath is gonna go with Samuel, possibly. Yes. But it is a saber duel, just as Luck offered. Interesting that he went with Samuel, though, and not Alexander. Perhaps it's because Samuel guards those lower openings better. So he wants to trust in that guard to stop Luck's. Wait, are the sides not correct? Oh, well. You guys can just fight it out. I don't care. it gets rotated all the time. You guys are already in the middle of it, so. That might have been my error, too, so. Let me just change them really quick, then. One moment, guys. Alright, there you go. You guys can continue. Is Wrath able to move there? Alright, perfect. Sorry to interrupt your rhythm. Never seen the Samuel skin. Yeah, it's a new one. It's pretty cool. It's that boss skin where he takes off his armor, but he's badly burned. big cut, but he gets stabbed in the face. Nicely done by Luck. Yeah, boss skin, exactly. Kubel didn't add the armored one, of course, because it would not be accurate, because you can't slice through armor, so... And Kubel wants to keep this grounded and realistic, so... The burn skin made the most sense, and it looks pretty badass. Nah, if he had the armor, it would be very immersion breaking, so... That armor with the helmet guy is probably the most armored we will see characters get. And that's a double. Well, strike downward, but it doesn't quite connect. It might have been that the guard protected Luck a little bit, setting aside that attack just enough. It's hard to say. But nonetheless, Luck's hit was very well executed. That's a feint, and it lands. Yeah, it's his mental demon in a dream, yeah. That's the whole, it's actually the canon event, exactly. That's why Samuel looks bigger than usual. Canonically, what happened is Yazuk is the one who shoots Samuel, then Samuel ends up getting knocked out. And then he has a dream where he's taking on evil, right? An evil version of himself. Because he starts to feel bad about all the things he's done, and then he ends up surviving getting shot, and it ends up heading to a monastery to hide as a monk. Good parry riposte action, but Luck gets the better end of it. That is 7-1. Alright. Maestro Cake against Pecola now. Alright, Pecola already coming in. Wrath needed some B cuts. Yeah, maybe. Okay, Maestro is in now. And let me just check here. Yes, Maestro gets the left side. Pecola will get the right. Zera is Samuel. That'd be a crazy twist. Okay, Pecola is thinking. Is he gonna do the Zera mirror though? He does, okay. I like that. I was kind of hoping to see that, but I didn't want to influence Pecola's decision or Maestro's decision. Wanted to just let them pick who they want. They do look similar, yeah, kind of. But I think Samuel's eyes are pretty distinctive, so it's pretty easy to tell that they are not the same character. But that is a funny idea right there. Both got killer defense. Similar movesets too, though. I will say that they are similar in some respects. Alright, so they're both being very conservative right now. Testing each other's defense, but Maestro catches Pekkala as Pekkala tries to sidestep. Long guard by both. Maestro threatening to attack, but feints. Maestro rushing in, but only... Oh, he got cut in the head, and then Pekkala follows it up. I think Maestro wanted a push, but you can't be so reckless with the pushes anymore. Especially against someone like Zera. Good parry with the cut by Pekkala, nearly getting punished. Oh, that was interesting jank there, but Maestro did hit him. That part of it was legit, so... Oh, Pekkala has to watch that stamina. Well, Maestro was open for a moment, but he does the retreat cut, keeping himself safe. Thrust by Maestro. Pekkala really needs to watch that stamina now. His HP is surely pretty low. And that was kind of cool. Pekkala covered his head with that B cut, but unfortunately he wasn't able to really follow it up, because that move has quite a bit of recovery. Thrust attempt. Pekkala standing still. He's good, though. Very tactical game by both of them. That's a double. Thrust by Pekkala, but that thrust rarely seems to kill. It's a good, quick move, though, to get some blood drawn. They both go for an upward cut. That was dangerous, but Pekkala was quicker on the draw. Dangerous, though, by both of them. And then there's that B cut. Pekko showing nerves of steel or lagging out super bad. I think it was nerves of steel, but I guess we'll see. Few weird interactions there, but nobody was going to get hit either way, so it didn't affect anything. Pekkala keeping up that combination. Thankfully, the interactions are looking better now. And Maestro trying to get it. Wow, that was quick. Did you see how fast he cranked out that combination? That was terrifying. Oh, that thrust by Pekkala, and he takes the hand off, and again we see the blade getting deleted. I think we gotta sort out that bug. It's probably low priority for Kobold, but I don't think the blade should be disappearing, and you never know, sometimes that might influence things a little bit. So, I guess we're seeing some holy powers here. And that's a double. Yeah, Zera was a noble in hiding. That's how he got educated in fencing and stuff. Thrust attempt. Oh, that's dangerous, yeah. Maestro punishing that. Very even fight, though. Oh, Maestro hitting the crossguard of Pekkala. Really love this fight. A very tactical one. Strike by Pekkala. Maestro looking a bit tired. Pekkala has to be careful, though. That's why he's not just rushing in. Holy snaps, it does not land, but that retreat cut does. Nicely done by Pekkala. He knew he had to follow that up or he was dead. Maestro turtle up a bit too much, and so Pekkala exploited that. Bunch of thrusts by Pekkala. Another attack lands. Nicely done. Pekkala rushing in. Ooh, provoking some attacks by Maestro, and a quick thrust forces a double. Maestro actually managed to hit him too. Well, thrust by Maestro hitting the arm. Pekla has to be a bit careful. Oh, that's bait right there if that grab. I think, yeah, Seant Lark was mentioning that, how Pekla tried that earlier. I don't think that's a grab attempt. I think that's just bait. It's kind of funny to look at, though. Like he's trying to use the force. There's a stab to the leg there. It's kind of fitting because Maestro's wearing that hood. So Pekla is kind of playing with him a little bit now, knowing that Maestro is limping. Maestro is kind of forced on the defensive. There's another hit. Maestro's still limping. Staying in the fight, though. He's doing a very good job considering. Yeah, there is quite a bit of blade contact. I really like seeing it because Zera uses the German longsword style, and there's a lot of that winden and binding. So, and nicely done by Pekla, forcing Maestro in the corner. His guard held, and he got the counter. Maestro is very desperate there, which is probably why he was panicking. And it is 7-4. Pretty good win for Pekla. Alright, we got Design Flaw against Wrath now. Yeah, Zeramirs are so much fun, especially when they're so tactical like that. They're going for a lot of the blade contact and whatnot. And that was a cool ending as well. Yeah, and that's a lot of what you see in the German longsword style of fencing. So everything we saw there was just amazing, I think. They played conservatively and very tactically, and seeing that interplay of the blades. There were some weird interactions, but those weird interactions didn't really influence the outcome, so. Alright, Design Flaw will take the left, Wrath will take the right. Just dealing with the names, and I'll make sure Wrath has keyboard, and then we'll get started. I think Kerosene was showing a lot of that with Zera as well, using attacks to defend and attack at the same time, or just control the blade to set up an engagement, and it's really cool to watch in real life as well. That's the goal of Zera, yeah. Yeah, I can see that for sure, especially given the inspiration for his style. Master cuts, exactly. Yeah. Not simple brute force, but using those cuts to both defend yourself and attack. Okay, Wrath on the right, Designful on the left, with Samuel actually this time. Yeah, that first leg was pretty cool as well, and there's a kill for Wrath. Wrath taking my advice and sticking with Alexander this time. I think that's a good call. Some new moves by Wrath. Wrath throwing a flurry of attacks there. Bit of an exchange. Oh, there's another new move. Wrath showing some swag, but he has to be careful. Design Flaw is not a pushover. What do flags count for in this? They're a secondary win condition, Maestro. So if, say, we have a three-way tie where it's unclear who won because each of the fighters have beaten each other, it's a secondary tiebreak to the ordinary tiebreak. So nothing has really changed. It's just that we have a more convincing way of resolving ties that cannot be resolved based on who beat who and wins. So it goes like this. It's number of wins first, then it's who beat who, and then we do a number of flags. So yeah, I hope that's clear. 1-1 so far, pretty even fight. That thrust shielded his head, and then he goes for a follow-up that was nicely done by Wrath. It's kind of a neat feature of that thrust, but it often doesn't come into play because you're kind of locked in the animation. So you're often vulnerable, but sometimes if you catch a blade just right, you're in an okay spot. That's another new move, but I don't think those work very well against Samuel. What, Tao? Tao's like, Subu! Set at the points, not point difference. Yeah, I know. It's all about flags. That's the secondary tiebreak. Well, it will though, because if you've lost a match by a huge margin, then you have less flags, right? Than another guy who maybe he's lost some fights, but you know what I mean? Like he's won the same amount of matches, but the fight that he lost, if he lost one, perhaps he's won more flags. So the flags in the game that you lost still count, Tao, if that makes sense. They still count towards that secondary tiebreak. It's very unlikely that, say, three players, which is the only situation really where that tiebreak would come into play, have scored the exact same number of flags. Yeah, yeah, luck is exactly right there. Anyway, let's focus back on the fight here. Good strike by Design Flaw. Salmon to Alex, yeah. It's an interesting matchup. I tend to think Alex actually has the advantage in this matchup, but Samuel can do it too, as we're seeing. It just depends on how the players do it. Tao defeated my Alex or Samuel, so. Okay, another win there for Design Flaw. Say three players get 5-1-0. Well, that's where points difference would come into play. I'm pretty sure I set that anyway, but it's really easy to add that into the settings even if I didn't though, so it's not a big deal. So it's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure I made that edit anyway, but that's the tertiary thing, but that's highly unlikely to happen. Yeah, you get points and losses, exactly. So you can lose a fight, but say win 6 points instead of 7, and then the other guy won 3 in his loss if he's lost 1 as well. Hence they're tied, so. Anyway, this is a really intense fight. Unfortunately, I'm not focusing on it. That thrust finally catches Wrath. That was a really intense flag right there. Could have been anybody's, but Design Flawed takes it 7-6. Luck against Oak now. Yeah, that was a great finish. I wish I wasn't looking at the chat that, a bunch of that time, but I saw it, and it was a really cool exchange, guys. So good job. Okay, we got them both in. Let me just check here. Luck will take the left, Oak will take the right. I do not know why that line is still through his name, but it'll be sorted out. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that was a good win, design flaw. Samuel was a good pick, it turns out. Luck going with Yazik. Oak is going with Laszlo. Yeah, just keep at it, man. You'll get a champion title eventually, I'm sure. It's gonna be really cool to see these two styles clash. We don't see them clash often. Oh my goodness, 2 strikes from Luck. Just lightning speed. And Oak did not have a chance to stop them. There you go. People were talking about Laszlo's auto guard. Right there, we just saw an example of Laszlo guarding low. I think a lot of it's positioning, because if you are in a good spot, Laszlo can be surprisingly good at even blocking lows. So, and good display by Oak there. He gets a point. Oh, yeah, he just has to avoid getting too close when that lunge occurs, I think, maybe. Laszlo is very linear, so it can be difficult to find a solution. But I'm sure he has a way around. Oak is going to have to adapt, though. It might even just come down to ensuring you get a hit to the head first, but that corkscrew thrust hit the arm. That is nasty. Gotta be ready for that lunge cancel, yeah, exactly. It can be tricky. Oak guarded that one well, though. That's a thrust to the body. Luck is just keeping up these attacks, and Oak is very low in stamina. That could have been a lethal blow. Big cut there by Oak, but it doesn't land. He's too far. Good strike, though. And Oak is doing a good job of keeping his distance when he needs to. Unfortunately, Luck lands a hit to the head. Use Laszlo's retreat Y a lot. Maybe. Yeah, to keep up the chain. Yeah, that might work. Maybe to strike that arm, too, if that lunge does not land. Oof. But when he hits you like that, you're in a lot of trouble. It does take time to travel there, yeah, but that's just the nature of his position. All the same, I think Laszlo's guard is a bit better than people give it credit for. But it has some clear gaps in the defense, there's no doubt about it. Same with Alex, same with Gideon. There's some others for sure, too. Because you can't, well, everybody has a gap somewhere, because you can't hold your sword everywhere at once, so. But those are the 3 that sort of come to mind that have very clear gaps in their defense. And there's a strike from Luck, finishing it off 7-2. Good attempt by Oak, though. I almost gave Luck 72, wow. Alright, Maestro, let's get you in here. You have to rely on master cuts. Yeah, master cuts are really helpful with those characters. As well as just using your footwork. Laszlo is open to it, yeah. That is going to be the problem Oak will have to grapple with. Thanks for 72. Yeah. Well, you took on a Saber veteran and beat him pretty convincingly, so that is quite an achievement. If anyone has doubts about your skill, I mean... Not that anyone does, but if anyone hypothetically does, they definitely don't anymore. Alright, Maestro, you're gonna take the right side? And good luck. No, not at all, man. Anyway. You want to do a rapier duel, Maestro? Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna do a rapier duel. Why the hell not? Alright, good luck. Okay, what was the score? Let me just check that. I wasn't paying super close attention in the middle of the fight. Yeah, his blade beats were crucial there, and that's what I've been trying to say. There's definitely a way around the way I fight with Marta. Hang on. Yes, okay, 5 to 7. Just making sure I get the score right. Pekla against Multi now. Oops. Two flag difference. Yes, you're right. Yep. It's just a bit awkward because the stream has been going on for on my phone anyway. It's been going on for 3 hours, so to scroll through with my finger, you cover a lot of the time pretty quickly. So I got to be very precise to find the exact time there, but I found it. So it is very close, luck. You, I think, have the best chance of winning this right now, besides me. So I was thinking Meister only had one win. Or sorry, one loss. My bad. But he actually has two. So still losable for me though. Pekala actually, as I say that, Pekala has a chance too. I actually no, because I beat him. So no, he doesn't have a chance. But luck does. So this is really interesting. All right, you're both in. Pekala beat you. Oh yeah, so that's where the flags would come into play, I suppose, potentially. Okay, we'll sort it out when the time comes. Pekala on the left, Multi on the right. Let me just make sure the names are sorted out. Alright, and Pekala should have keyboard. Yes, he does. Awesome. I should set it to where he gets keyboard automatically, but I know Pekala's going to want to figure out the keyboard splitter, so it might be best that I don't. Alright, good luck, guys. Yeah, I guess because Pekala beat you, it's kind of a bad position for you, but I feel like I could have beaten Maestro if I went with Marie, actually. So I guess that's a possible lesson learned, but all the same, very good fight, Maestro, showing us how Marie can defeat Marta. So it's good to see they both have counterplay against each other. Look at this Sly Fox. Yeah, he goes with Calc there. Yes, you need Pekala to lose. So this is actually a very important fight. Get baited. Yeah, he goes with Calc in the end. Pekala doesn't seem too happy with this matchup, which is interesting. I tend to think Marta actually has the advantage. A bunch of stabs. Oh, that's not looking good for luck. Yeah, so Pekala is not out of the tournament yet. He has to win this one. Bunch of pokes. Oh my goodness, more pokes. I don't think anyone got tired of Isabella exactly. It's just we don't have many Isabella mains in this tournament. Maestro plays her a bit, but that's kind of it, I think. which is kind of interesting. Isabella used to be very, very popular, but I guess a lot of the mains of her have not participated in this one. So I play her sometimes too, but I think I'm more of a saber player than a longsword player. So, and I used Marta a little bit too, which is kind of interesting. I don't usually do that. Yeah, Isabella is actually not quite as popular as she used to be. But I think it's the players, not so much that she is, that we're tired of her exactly. Like, that's a kill for multi, but Pekla is in a very good spot. Would never play her in a tournament, fair enough. Saber only. Yeah, sabers are a lot of fun. There's 2 stabs by multi. Multi's not out of it. There's a poke. Setting that point aside just enough to get a stab of his own. Good thrust. And then multi gets one of his own. Saber only. Yeah, Luck thinks Isabella's a bit boring. Yeah, and Maestro a little bit too, but I can see that. I think I like playing Isabella sometimes, but all depends on how you play her. I guess Zera is more flashy, so Zera has that going for him. Also, the fact that he's good at the whole attacking to defend yourself game. Isabella versus Zera is always fun to watch. I agree. Really loved my fight against Maestro, where I used Isabella. Longsword fights in general can look pretty good in all seriousness, so. When you get 2 longsword masters going at it, it can be hectic as hell. It's Pekla needing one more. Really focused on on the chat there. Apologies for that. Some point work by both of them. Pekla forcing multis against the corner. Multi is in trouble, and he runs into the point. Brutal finish. Hard to get in with Pekla's Marta. Yeah, he's very good with Marta. You think I'm good with Marta? Pekla makes me look awful by comparison. 100%. Okay, so that is 7-4. Pekla. Pekla, you're still in, by the way. Hopefully you didn't leave. You did leave. Oh, well. That's not a big deal. So we got Pekla in here against Wrath now. I'll just ping Wrath since Pekla's already in here. Already coming in. So Luck wants, obviously, Wrath to win this. We will do a saber duel, by the way, Luck. Just telling you in advance. You don't have to worry about me busting out Marta or something. I think you'd counter it pretty well if I tried that. And I also want our fight to be as fun as possible, so. Okay, waiting for Wrath. I would get cheesed, yeah, with that thrust you like throwing. And you know, that's fair game, right? Because I do sewing machine strats with Marta. It's the same thing. Some players being honorable here, asking what matchups they want for their last matches. Alright, Wrath. Hopefully Wrath shows up. Uh, Probably because of the axe. Yeah, it's a light axe, but it's still weighted towards the end. I think Yendrick does get tired pretty quick, yeah. I think also just because he's really active and he has a lot of combination moves and stuff. Some of the moves he lets go of the axe and swings with one hand too, so I'm sure that would be a bit taxing. But yeah, Maestro brings up a good point there. It probably depends on the move. I imagine the dash A, yeah, the liver shot that Maestro's talking about. Yeah, that probably doesn't spend a whole lot because it's a relatively minimalistic move. Vinard loves using that a lot. Unfortunately, Wrath, he might have had a PC issue, so we'll actually move on for now unless Wrath shows up right away. Let's get Maestro and Maltese in here so we can keep going. We'll come back to the fight, of course. Yeah, and the thing with the axe is it might be really quick, but realistically speaking, it's harder to stop it moving than it is to stop a sword moving because of how it's weighted, if that makes sense. So with the axe, it's often better to keep it moving instead of trying to stop it. That can obviously be a bit taxing. Grab a wood chopping axe and try swinging it around the way he does, right? And stopping it instead of just going with the flow. Obviously, a wood chopping axe is heavier than an axe you would use for fighting, but it gets the point across, I think. All right. Maestro will take the left, Maltese will take the right. Oh, good. Maltese is already on the right. Yeah. You don't want to. The wood chopping axe wouldn't be a very good proxy for it, but yeah, exactly. A wooden stick with just a bit of weight on the end. It doesn't need to be too much weight. Two-handed shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, it's about the weight of a saber, but the way the weight is distributed still plays a role. At least I think it's roughly the weight of a saber. It could be heavier. Kubold was saying the example he has is actually only like 900 grams, so axes are lighter than people think. It's just that the way the weight is distributed is different. Speaking of which, we're doing a Yendrick mirror. I guess they agreed to that. Pendulum swing, there's a trade. Crazy fight so far. Maestro applying some pressure. That's an interesting B chop he went for. Oh, yeah, Maestro caught him in a distance trap. Yendrick fights are a lot of fun. Kind of glad we're seeing him in action here. Well, again, caught in a distance trap. Maltese has to be careful of whiffing when he's out of measure. It's very stressful though, because if you don't attack and you're too passive equally, you can just get sniped by an opponent who understands the measure well. That said, Maltese does get a point. Yeah, it'd be really nice to see Endrix for sure. Oof, that was a pretty nasty strike by Meister. I don't think the axe head hit, but it took some stamina out. But nonetheless, Maltese able to eventually get a kill. Another strike, yeah. Two strikes from Maestro. Those are X chops, it looks like. They get around his guard pretty well. It's not a very good guard to begin with, but those strikes in particular get around. Yendrick is spacing 101, exactly. If you mess up the spacing, you're gonna get punished really quick, especially in a mirror match. Oh, that was a taunt by Maltese, but he actually blocked that incoming attack with it. Nice chop by Maestro. And Maestro inches ahead, but only by one flag. Yeah, these are always my favorite fights to watch with Yendrick, the mirror matches. And that was a good strike by Malti, forcing... Well, there's a bit of taunting. High guard by Maestro, just marching forward. But Malti recovers, taking his legs out under him there. Maestro probably quite surprised that he managed that. That was kind of cool how he marched forward. What happened there was Maestro was too close. Malti is making use of those short range moves when Maestro gets close. Oh, but that was a good strike by Maestro. Very close fight. When Sava drops the soul I'm playing, Young says, yeah, I'm really excited for Sava too. Oh, when they have these high guard standoffs, it's really cool to watch. Because someone has to attack at some point. And now they're both doing it again. Oh, man. Maltese did get a hit earlier in this exact situation. Oh, Maestro got a stun, and he finally follows it up. Alright, Maltese has to be very careful now. Oh, no, he taunted. And he follows it up somehow. Wow. Maestro probably a bit embarrassed that he messed that up somehow. But that A chop is really fast. That's just the reality of it. Maltese knows what moves to use up close. Oh, a bit too far. Hook to the shoulder after that brutal chop and that strike with the haft ending with a downward chop. Maestro takes it 7-6. Alright, let's see if Wrath is still around. I don't see him. I hope he's doing okay. Feel free to let me know in chat or something, Wrath. We're gonna move on for now. I'll try pinging him again after Oak against Design Flaw. Oh, Wrath's here. Okay, I see him typing. Okay. Uh. Oh, you're making some coffee. That's all good, man. That's all good. Okay, let's get Wrath and Peckle in here then. I take that back. Alright. Yeah, no problem. I gotta make some coffee pretty soon, too. Yeah, it's a really funny move. I don't blame you for really liking to do it. Alright. So Wrath will take the left, Peckle will take the right. Alright, let's go. Make sure you both have keyboard. Alright, good luck, guys. Wonder who they're gonna pick, though. Is Wrath thinking about Zera? He is, alright. Pekka's in an interesting spot now. Is he gonna go with Zera as well? Yes, he is. Alright. Wrath obviously didn't feel too confident with Alex against Pekka, so... Okay, Holy stands by Wrath. Already trying some interesting moves. Forces the double. Rushing in, but then there's the retreat cut. Nice bait attempt by Pekka, but he gets hit. Pekka is the Zera master, so he has a bit of pressure on his shoulders. This is something that Venator used to talk about, how if you main a character, there's a lot of pressure on you to excel in your fight if you're fighting against someone who's maybe less experienced with that character in a mirror match. So Wrath can kind of relax and just try whatever he wants, and nobody's gonna bat an eye. But if Pekka loses, then his status as a Zera master is put into question a little bit. Certainly, psychologically, that's how it feels anyway. That was a good stab by Wrath. Pekka not saying that he's not going to let that happen. And just rushes in with the samurai cut, as people call it. A little Unterhau rush attack. That was very beautiful by Pekka. Pekka going for some rush strats again. And again with that same move, but it missed. He follows up with the retreat cut, which makes him tired. Nicely done by Pekka. Eve already questions it. Damn. Peckler's got to prove him wrong. Oh, push! And there's a strike around the guard by Pekla. Nicely done. Good job landing the push, too. In the current meta, that's very difficult. Very risky. There's the holy stance. Pekla runs into it. Alright, Pekla's got to be careful rushing in, because Wrath could adapt. Wrath is a pretty experienced player by now, so he knows how to counter this type of thing. Oh, Wrath did a really high recovery move, and Pekla countered it immediately. Good punishment by Pekla. Two cuts. Oh, but Pekla actually gets away with that exchange. This is very good for Pekla. Pekla wins one more. Oh, he did a bait with the push, but Wrath just hit him, didn't care. Pekla's got to be careful with that, trying to use swag, because Wrath will call him out on that. Wrath with a thrust, getting Pekla's blade down. Another kill. That's got to help his morale. Really cool to see that blade control in action. Thrust attempt, it misses, and he cannot force the double. Pekla takes it, but that was a very valiant effort by Wrath. That is 5-7. Pekla takes it. Alright, Oak against Design Flaw now. Down to the last two fights here. Pekla wanted to meme a bit. Fair enough. It's all good. It was a high five, except that Wrath answered it with the point of the sword. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Pretty hilarious. And at this point, Pekla and I are tied for score. Pekla can still win it. It comes down to whether I defeat Luck or not. Alright, Oak, you're gonna take the left. Design Flaw on the right. Alright, good luck. Sorry about that. Okay, Oak is going with Laszlo. Design Flaw goes with Marta. Been playing Marta a little bit, so that makes sense. And also, Rapier is a good pick against Laszlo. I think Oak knows how to approach this, though, and how to win, and he's really experienced. So Design Flaw has his work cut out for him, but Marta is definitely a very good pick. Some sideways stabs like I was doing, fair enough. That's a really good tactic, especially against linear movement. Oak is not quite getting close enough to land those cuts. Finally, he does. Marta, good pick? Yeah, because I think Laszlo is vulnerable to those stabs. Long guard is a thing, but Marta does have some blade beats and cuts. And I think she can get around long guard surprisingly well with her finesse point work. That said, though, Oak is getting another kill. Alright, some side steps. Laz is faster stab than Marta, maybe. But I think Marta has more reach. And sometimes that stab doesn't land quite the way you want to with Laszlo. Good stab for the body by Design Flaw. Design Flaw rushing in. Gotta be careful though. If Oak gets a quick cut to his head, that could be dangerous, but he actually makes it work. Running in and stabbing him for another flag. Really good to see a Marta player initiating. That's something she really struggles with, but I imagine it caught Oak off guard, so it worked. Cut to the arm. I think Design Flaw was going to throw a cut or something, and that's why his wrist was open. That's what exposed it to the cut, which otherwise the cup hilt might have blocked. And that's another strike, the 1-2. That's all Oak needs to do. Oak needs to close him down. Design Flaw has to keep his distance. Gotta be careful with those cuts. Good stab by Design Flaw. Gotta keep the point online as much as possible, too. Very cool dynamic. Rapier against Saber. Blade beat. Can't really follow it up, though. Really watching out for those quick thrusts. There's a cut, and then there's a stab by Design Flaw. Nicely done. Cut attempt, then there's a thrust. Keeping his distance, like I was saying. That's nicely done. Oak needs to find a way to close in, but he gets stabbed. And another stab as Oak tries to close in. I think when he closes in like that and he's not in long guard, he's very vulnerable to those. So Design Flaw needs one more. Design Flaw made a really good adjustment to Oak trying to rush him down. Some of those cuts are pretty threatening too, actually. They may not kill, but they threaten damage, and that is a very good move against Laszlo, to duck back like that and then get a stab to the body. Well done by Design Flaw. And that is 7-4. Pretty good victory too against a veteran player. Oh, that was a little weird. But nothing's crashed or anything, so that's good. Alright, let's get Luck in here. Final fight, and this fight is very important because it decides whether Pekala wins or whether I win. Because I'm still ahead, but if I lose one, then I'm in trouble. I believe, anyway. Yeah, Oak has been doing really well, but he's been struggling to get a win, I guess, has been the problem. But he can definitely do it. On a good day, he's one of the best Saber players on the server for sure. I think today just hasn't been his day. That's the only thing. At his best, though, he punishes every little mistake you make, and he's really tough to fight, so he'll get that master title eventually, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure in this one. Shooting for that legend title. And obviously Luck is looking for a champion title. Oh, sorry, Luck can't win, my bad. I was thinking that because it's a final, but nah, Luck cannot really win this. Peckle is looking for a champion title. Yeah, I know, Luck. But still, put on a good show. And give Pekla a chance at least. Do it for Pekla. Yeah, that's what Pekla says. Alright, good luck. That's Hall of Fame worthy again, man. I know I'm biased, but oh my god. It's a good thing I muted myself. I was screaming a few times there at the last flag. Not gonna lie. That was just so intense. My heart was racing. Maybe that'd be good content, though. I don't know. Let me know, guys, if you want to hear that stuff. I just don't want it to be too annoying. But all the same, that was an amazing fight. Let's give him his 6 flags. I almost gave him 0 on it on instinct there. But no, he won 6 flags. That was an amazing fight. I should not have jumped in. I thought he was tired. That's why I did that. Because usually that's a good move to finish off tired people. Good games. Alright. Let's end the tourney with that. And I win, but just barely. Pekala could have won that, and there's probably an alternate universe where he does. Thanks, Oak. That was an amazing tourney. Let's see what the chat has to say. I was not looking at the chat at all. I had my phone off during that whole thing. Oh, Luck spoiled the chat because of the delay. That's funny. Oh, I hate it when that happens too, actually. What I do is I watch stuff full screen when I can, but yeah. Thanks, Luck. You were much more unpredictable this time, Luck, and that's why you did so well. So keep playing like that. That's how you should use your moves, I think. Uh, and Alex does have some lightsaber doubles, but honestly, a lot of characters do. Laszlo does, Isabella does, Zara does. It's just the way it is. Some things need to be tweaked with that for sure, but that's not what decided it. So, but yeah, I agree. I'm just looking for the chat here. But yeah, that was an amazing fight, regardless. Luck did amazing. Yeah. And with that, I'm gonna end the tourney there. Rewatch slow mo. Luck was close, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there, guys. Amazing tourney. Thank you all for coming out. Let's have a look at the standings before I actually end the stream, though. I think people might be curious. Of course, Pekla got second place. Luck got third. Maestro got third as well. Both had the same score. Very close, actually. Maltese with 2 wins. Design Flaw with 2. Oak with 1. Not his day today. Not Wrath's day today either. But nonetheless, we saw good performances from everybody. So it's really good to see the really good performances on everyone's part. Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.